I've never been the impulsive type. I'm a spreadsheet guy. The dude who triple checks expiration dates and reads Amazon reviews like scripture. So when I proposed to Lisa, it wasn't a knee-jerk thing. It was the culmination of 4 years of meticulous emotional investment. We had a plan, a future, a shared spreadsheet with tabs for the honeymoon, catering, floral arrangements, and guest lists, and a $60,000 wedding fund sitting in a joint savings account. Lisa was my anchor, or so I thought. She worked in marketing, one of those trendy downtown offices with kombucha on tap and mandatory happy hours that last 3 hours too long. I never minded. I trusted her. She was magnetic, social, charismatic in ways I'd never been. And her coworkers? Honestly, never thought twice about them. Especially not Greg. Greg was the funny one in their department. Tall, vaguely handsome in that forgettable way. Wore too much cologne and laughed at his own jokes. I met him once, briefly, at a work thing. He high-fived Lisa like she was a teammate, not a fiancé. It bothered me a little, just enough to file it away, not enough to say something. Then last Friday happened. I was on a couch, half watching some mindless Netflix series when I got a ping. My buddy Sean sent me a DM, "Yo, is this Lisa?" Attached was a screenshot of an Instagram story. I tapped it open. The world stopped. It was Lisa, sitting sideways, on Greg's lap, laughing, one arm around his shoulders like they were very comfortable, and her left hand, bare, no ring. My heart jackhammered in my chest, but my mind went still. This wasn't panic. It was something colder, deeper. My fingers felt distant as I zoomed in on the photo, looking for some other explanation. There wasn't one. It was from that night. The same outfit she'd left the apartment in 2 hours earlier. So I waited. I sat in silence for over an hour. My phone still in my hand, screen dark. I didn't move. Just stared into nothing while my brain quietly burned down everything I thought I knew. At 1:08 a.m., Lisa came home. I heard her laugh in the hallway before she even opened the door. Her heels clicked on the hardwood. She tossed her purse on the console like she always did, kicked her shoes off, and strolled into the living room. "Oh, hey, babe," she smiled. "You're still up?" She was glowing, flushed, buzzed but not drunk. The smell of perfume and white wine followed her like a fog. And I noticed no ring on her hand. "Still, where's your ring?" I asked flatly. She blinked. "Oh, I took it off to wash my hands and forgot to put it back on." I nodded slowly. "You were sitting on Greg's lap." Her face went blank. Not shock, not guilt, just immediate, strategic recalibration. "What? No, I wasn't. What are you talking about?" I held up my phone and showed her the screenshot. And just like that, the temperature in the room dropped 30 degrees. Her smile snapped off. "Why are you spying on me?" she snapped. Spying? It was a public story. On Instagram. Lisa's eyes darted, like a cornered animal searching for an escape hatch. "It's not what it looks like," she said. "No," I said, "because it looks like my fiancée took off her ring to play lap pillow for Greg at some happy hour." She crossed her arms. Defensive now. "Jesus, you're being ridiculous." It was a joke. We were all messing around. You know how close our team is. Not that close. Lisa rolled her eyes. "God, you're being so dramatic." It didn't mean anything. That sentence. It didn't mean anything. I stood up, walked to the bedroom, and shut the door. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I didn't cry. I just stared at the wall until morning. But I had a plan. Because, see, Lisa forgot one small detail. I'm a spreadsheet guy. And that $60,000 wedding fund? Technically, I had set it up. My name was the primary on the account. She never noticed. That morning, while she slept off her guilt in our bed, I made a transfer. Quietly. Efficiently. $60,347.89. Moved into an account she didn't know existed. My own. Then I packed a duffel bag. Clothes, laptop, passport, a few keepsakes. I left the ring box on her pillow. No note. No bouvier. Just silence. At 6:42 a.m., I locked the door behind me and got in my car. I didn't know where I was going yet, but I knew one thing for damn sure. Lisa was going to wake up with a hangover and a wedding Pinterest board. On Nogodom, there's a strange kind of calm that comes over you when you realize you're done. Not angry, not sad, just done. It's like standing outside your burning house and realizing you don't miss a single thing inside. That's what I felt pulling onto 95 with a duffel bag and 60 grand. I didn't cry. I didn't call anyone. I didn't even check my phone. By the time Lisa rolled over and realized her fiancé, engagement ring, and $60,000 were gone, I was halfway to Savannah with the windows down and a hotel reservation under a name I hadn't used in years, my middle name. She texted first, "Where are you? Call me now." Then, "What the FCK is going on?" Followed by a barrage of missed calls, voice messages, and ultimately, "You took the money. Tell me you didn't just take the money. Call me." I didn't respond. Instead, I sat in a Motel 6 outside of Macon, Georgia, eating takeout and listening to her unravel in real time. She had no idea where I was. And better yet, no clue that I had already transferred all our joint funds to an account she had zero access to. The voicemail that finally made me crack a smile was this one: "You're overreacting. Seriously, you're going to blow up our entire lives over one mistake? I don't even like Greg like that. You're acting crazy. Crazy." I had her on camera, on Greg's lap, with her ring off. And I was the crazy one. I didn't listen to the rest. Just saved it. Labeled the file Gaslight Mixtape Volume 1. I spent the next few days off-grid. Cash only. Burnirsin. Rented a little beachside Airbnb under a fake email and watched the tide while the world spun out behind me. She started calling my family. My brother sent a text. "What the hell happened with Lisa? She's freaking out." I ignored it. She emailed me. "I just want to talk. We can work through this. I made a mistake, okay? Just one. You don't throw away 4 years over a drunk Instagram story." But that's the thing. It wasn't just one mistake. I thought about every moment she worked late over the last 6 months. Every time she left her phone face down. Every conversation I walked into that suddenly changed tone. The way she distanced herself when we talked about kids. The sudden hesitance about house hunting. This wasn't new. It was just the first time she got caught. Still, part of me wondered, what if I had stayed? What if I confronted her calmly, talked it out, tried to fix it like I've done 1,000 times in other relationships? And then I remembered her face. The blankness. The spin. The way she immediately turned it back on me. No, this wasn't mine to fix. This was her mess. I just refused to drown in it. On the 5th day, she finally got creative. She posted a photo of her and me on her Instagram story with some nonsense caption like, "Love is hard but worth fighting for." She knew what she was doing. It was bait. She wanted sympathy. She wanted people to assume I'd abandoned her, that I was the bad guy. So I gave her 24 hours. One full day to take it down. To stop. When she didn't, I pulled the first trigger. I posted a screenshot of the Instagram story. The one. Her on Greg's lap. No ring. Captioned it, "For those asking why there won't be a wedding." Then I logged out. Didn't check comments. Didn't engage. Just set fire and walked away. That night, my phone exploded. Friends. Co-workers. Even her mother messaged me. "And Lisa? She went nuclear. You posted that? Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what you've done? My job could see that." Oh, now it was real. Now she cared. Not when she made a fool of me in front of her whole office, but when her image took a hit. 2 days later, I got a knock on my Airbnb door. Not her. Not a friend. A courier. Envelope. Thick. Legal. Inside, a letter from her lawyer. She was demanding half the wedding fund back. Half. She called it community assets. Said I couldn't legally take all of it. Funny, considering how single she acted when she straddled Greg in front of a bottle service sign. I didn't call my own lawyer. Not yet. I just drafted one sentence and had it overnight to her address. Happy to settle. Let's bring the Instagram story into court and let the judge decide what I owe. I signed it with a photo of the ring. Still in its box. Still untouched. Never heard from that lawyer again. But I wasn't done. Because I had one more surprise waiting. One that'd ensure Lisa never played the victim again. She didn't just betray me. She used me. She was going to walk down that aisle with a fake smile and a fake heart. And I would have thanked her for it. So I made a choice. That wedding fund? It wasn't just money. It was years of my life. And it was time to spend it. But not on a wedding. On revenge. By the time week 2 rolled around, Lisa had stopped pretending to be sweet. No more baby please. No more, we can fix this. She'd gone full cold-blooded. Her last message was a single sentence. You're a coward. You'll regret this. I didn't answer. Instead, I sat on the deck of my rented beach shack in Florida, sipping overpriced bourbon and planning how to make sure she regretted everything. Lisa's mistake wasn't just cheating. It wasn't the Instagram story. It wasn't even lying to my face about it afterward. It was underestimating me. She forgot who handled the wedding budget, who planned every detail, who had every receipt, contract, and vendor login saved in Google Drive folders neatly labeled by category and color-coded by priority. She didn't just lose a fiancé. She lost the operations manager of her perfect day. Let me paint the scene for you. Our wedding was supposed to be this ridiculous, Pinterest porn, barn chic fantasy. Rustic venue just outside of town. Hanging Edison bulbs. Peonies flown in from Oregon. A freaking donut wall. $350 per guest, all in. Lisa's dream. Vendors were booked. Deposits paid. RSVPs already rolling in. And now, she had no groom, no ring, no money, but she still had pride, which meant she couldn't cancel without admitting the truth. I'd bet every dollar left in that account she was telling people I ghosted or had a breakdown. Anything but the real story. So I made it my mission to rewrite the ending of our wedding. Not by canceling it, by attending it, but not the way she thought. Here's where things get delicious. Before I transferred the money out, I paused every payment auto-scheduled to vendors. That meant the cake, the florist, the DJ, the videographer, the shuttle buses all frozen. No money, no contracts, just hanging. Then I made a few calls. One to the DJ, who was a friend of a friend. I offered him double to still show up and play my playlist instead. One I'd personally curated. Think, Cry Me a River, Before He Cheats, Shout Out to My Ex, and my personal favorite, Every Breath You Take. Petty? Incredibly. Effective? Oh, you have no idea. Next, I called the caterer. Told them the event was moved, same day, different address. Refund pending. They were hesitant, but once I threw in a $1,000 logistical tip, they agreed. Then came the venue. This one was tricky. Lisa's name was technically on the reservation too, but I still had admin access. And the contract had a clause. If final payment wasn't made 2 weeks out, the date would be forfeited. So I let the deadline pass. And then I booked it again, under my name. Same day, same time, and instead of a wedding, I threw a breakup party. It was a masterpiece. String lights still up, flowers still in bloom. Except instead of white tablecloths and vows, there were neon signs that read, Dodged a bullet, and Ring Refund Rager. Friends who knew the truth showed up in black. We had cake. We had champagne. We had a piñata shaped like a heart that my best man demolished with a baseball bat. It was therapeutic. But the real piece to resistance? A blown-up poster of Lisa and Greg from the Instagram story, framed on an easel near the bar. Caption, RSVP regretfully declined. Word got out fast. Apparently, Lisa had told everyone the wedding was postponed due to health reasons. So when mutual friends saw the party on social media, her little lie fell apart. Even better, Greg showed up. I swear on my life, this man had the audacity to walk in, thinking I wouldn't recognize him. He got 3 steps into the venue before I turned and raised a glass in his direction. To Greg, I said, the lap that launched 1,000 lies. The whole crowd turned. Greg turned purple. He left without a word. Smart man. Later that night, I got a single text from Lisa. No, no, how could you? Just, I hope it was worth it. I stared at the screen for a full minute before replying. Every single penny. Then I blocked her number. But she wasn't finished. Because if there's one thing Lisa couldn't stand more than losing, it was losing publicly. And what she did next took this to a level I never thought she'd dare. Lisa wasn't built for shame. She could handle rejection, disappointment, even being called out, but public humiliation, that was a different beast. That's the kind of thing that doesn't just sting, it scars. And after the Ring Refund Rager went viral across all our overlapping social circles, her carefully curated image of the perfect bride collapsed like a wet cake. But instead of retreating quietly, she doubled down. Hard. It started with a post. a long, melodramatic Facebook novel, complete with a black and white selfie and a caption that began, "It breaks my heart to even write this." She went on to describe how I abandoned her, drained our joint wedding fund without warning, and humiliated her with a staged revenge event designed to make her look like a monster. She referred to herself in third person multiple times. Lisa only ever wanted to love deeply and be loved in return. My personal favorite line? He left without even saying goodbye. I woke up alone. No ring, no note, no explanation. Just gone. Classic Lisa. All theater, all spotlight. She made sure to leave out the part where she was on Greg's lap, ring off, Instagram open, and hand on his thigh. The post got traction. Sympathy rolled in from people who didn't know the full story, coworkers, distant relatives, old high school friends. I didn't say a word until her best friend messaged me. Someone I'd always thought had her back. "You might want to see this." Attached, a group chat screenshot. Lisa bragging about controlling the narrative, about how she was going to spin this breakup into brand awareness for her personal blog, that maybe she'd even get some influencer partnerships out of it if she played the victim well enough. She literally wrote, "Might as well turn the ashes of this dumpster fire into a fucking empire." So I sat there, reading that, and realized Lisa wasn't just dishonest. She was dangerous. She'd weaponized sympathy to climb out of the hole she dug. And if I didn't stop her, she'd rewrite the whole damn story. So I made a decision. No more silence. I posted a reply. Not on her wall. Not even tagging her. Just a single post of my own. It read, "I wasn't going to say anything. I really wasn't. But if you're going to tell your story, then I'm going to tell mine." Below is a video. Unedited. Time-stamped. Sent to me by a mutual friend on the night everything changed. This is why I left. No bouvier. No ring. No wedding. Then I dropped the bomb. The original Instagram story. The one with her on Greg's lap. Smiling. Tipsy. Touchy. Ringless. You could hear someone in the background shout, "OHHH Lisa," and she just giggled like it was adorable. I added no caption. Didn't need to. It hit 8,000 views in the first hour. The comments section turned fast. People who'd commented hearts on her sad little soliloquy were now deleting them or calling her out. And just like that, the tide shifted. But I wasn't finished. That same week, she tried to file a police report against me. Said I'd stolen marital assets. Claimed emotional distress. It didn't go far. Turns out, being engaged doesn't give you legal rights over money you didn't deposit and accounts you don't control. But it told me everything I needed to know. She was spiraling, desperate to salvage anything. So I leaned in. Remember that blog she launched? The one she planned to use as a healing journal? Well, she had a business email attached to it and a contact form. So I sent her a message from an anonymous Gmail. "Dear Lisa, I'm interested in a sponsorship opportunity for your blog. I represent a boutique brand that aligns with your themes of self-empowerment and overcoming hardship. Before we proceed, our PR team does a standard integrity review. We'd like to clarify a few rumors floating around online regarding your relationship history. Could you confirm whether the video circulating is authentic? Kindly, Marcus, community liaison, Rebloom Par," she responded within an hour. "That video is completely taken out of context. It was just a joke. I was drunk. Nothing happened. I'm working with Meta to get it taken down." Bingo. She was still lying, still digging. And now I had that in writing. Then came the final twist. Greg reached out to me. Yup, Greg. This man had the balls, no, the audacity to send me a DM. "Hey man, I didn't know she was engaged when that video was taken. I'm really sorry for the role I played. I ended things with her a while back. Hope you're doing all right." I stared at the message for a full minute before answering. Then I replied, "Cool. So you're the kind of guy who puts his hands on a woman without checking if there's a diamond on her finger first?" No response. Didn't need one. I screenshotted it, saved it, archived it, just in case Lisa ever claimed he was her support system or some tragic miscommunication. By the end of the month, her blog was offline. Her public Instagram scrubbed. Her social circle imploded. The wedding that was supposed to be her crowning moment had become the legend of her collapse. But for me, it wasn't over yet, because there was still one last thing I had to do. Not for revenge, not for closure, but for myself. And it involved one final trip to the place where it all started. You know the old saying, living well is the best revenge? Wrong. Peace is the best revenge. The kind of peace that doesn't need validation or followers or vengeance. The kind that comes when you've pulled your life out of a burning building, tossed the match over your shoulder, and walked away without flinching. That's what I found 3 months after I left Lisa. But it didn't come easy, and it didn't come cheap. Let me tell you where that $60,000 really went. After everything, the Instagram scandal, the viral breakup party, the failed smear campaign, I disappeared again. Properly this time. No social media. No posts. No satellisade. I ghosted the ghosting. Not because I was hiding. Because I was healing. I drove upstate, found a long-term cabin rental near a lake, and went dark. Woke up with the sun. Walked barefoot through pine needles. Cooked meals that didn't come from takeout bags. Learned how to do absolutely nothing and be okay with it. I didn't think about Lisa. I thought about me. Who I was before her. Who I could be without her. But the money. You want to know about the money? No, I didn't blow it in Vegas. I didn't use it to flex on Instagram. I didn't buy a sports car or go on some revenge-fueled luxury tour of Europe. That would have just made me another Lisa, chasing the aesthetic of winning. Instead, I bought something priceless. I bought freedom. $60,000 went into 3 things. 1, debt, every student loan, every credit card wiped clean. 0 balance. I got to start over fresh, which is more than most people ever get. 2, a business, something I'd always dreamed about, but never had the guts or time to pursue. A small digital consultancy. Nothing flashy, but mine. Completely mine. 4, a ring, yeah. I'll get to that in a second. 6, about 6 months after I disappeared, I got a letter. Handwritten. From Lisa's mom. She'd always liked me, which made things awkward when everything blew up. The note was short. You were good to her. Better than she deserved. I'm sorry for what happened. I hope you find someone who gives as much as you do. You deserved a real partner. P.S. Thank you for not ruining her life. You could have. I folded the note. Put in a drawer. Never responded. A year later, I met someone. Not in some fairy tale way. No airport run-ins or bookstore glances. We met at a client workshop. She wasn't trying to impress me. She showed up in sneakers and a sarcastic hoodie and challenged half my presentation with facts that were frustratingly correct. Her name was Natalie. She asked smart questions. She didn't flirt. She didn't care about appearances. She was brutally honest and unapologetically kind. We spent 6 months working on a joint project. Then we spent the next 6 falling in love. She knew about Lisa. I told her everything. No filters. No edits. Just the raw, ugly truth. She didn't pity me. She just listened and then said, "Sounds like you needed the crash to build something better." She was right. So, the ring. Not Lisa's. A new one. Simple. Elegant. Paid for in cash from the life I rebuilt. No financing. No shared accounts. No hidden contracts. When I proposed to Natalie, I didn't do it in front of a crowd or on some mountain cliff. I did it on the lake dock outside the cabin where I'd once sat alone wondering if I'd ever feel whole again. She said yes. And I knew, right then, I hadn't just dodged a bullet with Lisa. I'd dodged a lifetime of wondering if I was enough for someone who never really saw me. There's no final gotcha here. No plot twist. Lisa moved cities. Last I heard through a friend of a friend, she's doing fine. Probably still curating her life in hashtags. Maybe she even tells a version of the story where I was the villain. Let her. I've got something better than a narrative. I've got peace. And a woman who shows up with both hands open, not one behind her back. And the $60,000? It didn't buy a wedding. It bought my life back. And that's the best damn investment I've ever made.